Oh man. So listen, if y'all can hear this fucking, like, this rendition, when I first heard even just this rendition, because this isn't the actual song, but if you've heard this, this music really sounds like fucking Crash Bandicoot running around a jungle with looking for Wapu fruit and Uka popping out. This is Lil Wayne Carter 6, Peanuts to an Elephant. It's not the actual song, but that's a good recreation of what the instrumental sounds like. And Black Twitter is not having it, dog. They are like destroying this nigga, man. It's, hey everybody, it's Ike's Boom Boom Room coming at you with another one. This is a slightly different kind of episode where I'm like talking about things around gaming culture and gaming culture in itself. You know, not too much gaming news going on except for the big Summer Games Fest and, you know, Nintendo Switch 2 launch. We'll recap that a little bit. And then, you know, I also want to talk about the Zelda fan casting that sexists are low-key cooking on. But first, we got to talk about Lil Wayne and Carter 6. Highly anticipated from who, I don't know who. Naysayers who wanted to see him fail after the whole kerfuffle between him and Kendrick Lamar. And Kendrick Lamar basically doing the Super Bowl halftime show in New Orleans in favor of Lil Wayne. And a lot of people were saying Lil Wayne cannot handle it at this age. He should be a Legends act, a nostalgia act. And, you know, when this came out, this kind of proved to the people who were saying that their point. And, you know, so I'm not listening to this album just based on this track alone. Everybody's comparing it to music from video games, and so that's why I'm talking about it. I just want to go through like what people have been saying, man, because it's hilarious to me. Hold on, this is the initial tweet. Shout out to Mr. Somebody, Sebastian Sprint 2. I think that's Sebastian Sprint 2, Mr. Somebody. I gotta give him all the credit for that. Look at this shit, y'all. People so stupid, man. Look at this shit is bully. bully 2 or some shit. Sound like a fucking sneaking around ass music. Fucking mischief ass music. So yeah, the beat selection has not been great, and it's kind of like remember when on Black Twitter how it went viral that all of those like old Bankhead like Southern beats from back in the day, like not even Southern, like West Coast fucking songs and shit like that, or was it Bay? Anyway, that's what it reminds me of. It reminds me of back on Black Twitter, like earlier this year. It went viral, all these like cultural based tracks. I forget who, like what rappers and shit. I feel like it was like juvenile type rappers. Scarface, like Mad Memphis sounds, beat makers, producers, rappers were using these James Bond-esque sneak music as kind of songs, and that went viral too, but like for more hilarious, like joyous reasons, not trashing Lil Wayne's legacy and career. That's a little bit different. So to like get into the meat and potatoes of the episode, I did want to talk about Summer Games Fest. Is that Summer Game Fest or Summer Games Fest plural? Some would say Summer Game. For SEO purposes, you'll say Summer Games, although it's really Summer Game. But then you'll see actual official logos and graphics that say Summer Games. So you never know. But fake E3's ghost, the pitch, the flag that Geoff Keighley, aka the parent of the child of the people who owns IMAX, so you know he's a giant nepo baby, trying to cinemify the gaming world with award shows and such. Uh, Planted his flag on E3's grave and claimed this week that used to be E3's for himself. And you know, Summer Game Fest starts on Friday technically, but it really starts like that week when you do like State of Play and stuff like that. State of Play is where we start at right now. Really good. If you haven't seen my reaction, I think the breakout announcement was that Marvel Token Fighting Spirit joined. You can check out my reaction right here, right around this area here. It should be popping up. Did not see that coming. And then they announced an Invincible versus 3v3 fighter. Everybody's making 3v3, 4v4s except for Capcom. There's a need. There is a market, and the people who have pioneered it have left it to the wayside, even though there is so much demand for the tag team based 2D fighters, and they're fulfilling that need. I think it's going to work far better than the party fighter situation that happened when Sakurai finished his tour with Ultimate and everybody tried to fill in that hole. I think PlayStation All Stars came out during that time and it just didn't stand a chance. And then Multiverse kind of shot itself in the own foot, unfortunately. And now the servers for that are done. And there's going to be something else that comes out, I'm sure, that's trying to do the same thing, but it'll never quite fulfill the Smash Brothers hole. I think this is a way easier hole to fill, especially now that you have the Marvel IP and it's Marvel vs. Capcom 4 and everything but the name. But some other stuff came out, and I want to just go through it super, super quick. Oh yeah, Resident Evil Requiem came out. I thought that was pretty cool trailer. I like how they connected it back to Outbreak. I hated the Capcom swerve that they gave us at the front end. We thought that they were going to talk about it. This is actual Summer Games Fest now, the presentation with GF. I always say GF, it's Jeff, but it's GF to me. I hated the swerve Capcom gave us, and then at the end, one more thing, and then they surprised us with the trailer. But it was pretty cool. That fucking Nuke didn't do shit to Raccoon City. You still got the police station roaming about. The fallout of that. You still got zombies in the location, so whatever. Can't wait to see what that's about. Stranger Than Heaven, the new Yakuza game. It looks like it's taking place in like the US, but there's like a Japanese character that you can play as well. That looks pretty sick. I would really need to get back into those Yakuza games. I was a Like a Dragon kind of guy, but then I fell off, and then it came out with the sequel to that, and I never played it. I definitely need to get to that. I just have so much shit to play. They also announced Scott Pilgrim X, which is a new Scott Pilgrim game that I believe is following along the lines of the Netflix reboot animated series. Very much so like Scott Pilgrim versus the World, the 2D pixel beat 'em up that got delisted and then came back on all the platforms. I think a few years back. I actually spoke about it on the last Ike's Boom Boom installment, talking about saying goodbye to my Nintendo Switch. You can check that video out right here if you're watching on YouTube. Otherwise, Spotify, Apple podcasts, you can go back to the previous episode. But it looks good. They only show Scott and Ramona, and it's like supposed to be 7 characters, so there's 5 more to go. It's only like a handful of characters in the fucking series who are good guys, so you can't really surprise me with the cast. Watch they surprise me with the cast now. Oni Musha Wave the Sword looked cool. To my understanding, you can switch from samurai mode to ninja mode on the fly, like your whole attire change as well as your moveset, and it's sort of like the gameplay style changes from DMC3, but with the old Onimusha kind of play style. That looks pretty dope. And I'm really just talking about games that I like. I know there's a whole bunch of games that got announced. Sonic Racing Cross Worlds. I'm not really looking for this, but they announced some guest characters like Steve and a few other folks. Joker for Persona 5. Joker for Persona 5 is like the Persona character. They were in Smash. Speaking of Smash, somebody else is. I think somebody from Like a Dragon is in this also. Ichiban. So that looked cool, and I do like the dig that he gave to Mario Kart World, saying that there's another kart game out there, but this one you can play on all platforms with your friends. We're not locking you into playing with people who just have a single console. So I thought that was dope. Marvel Cosmic Invasion was just like X-Men Arcade that Konami made, except the art style is vastly different, and I don't like the art style per se, but I do love the way it looks in terms of gameplay style. I love the character selection. I do want to play it. I'm not. I don't know how much it's going to be MSRP, but I am not paying full price for it. I will wait for this shit to be on sale before I play it, and I'm definitely getting it on a portable console. Wu-Tang Rise of the Deceiver. They showed like 0.2 seconds of gameplay, and it looked like the art style looked like Spider-Verse. Spider-Verse are taking like black people by storm, that art style, because we just love it. And I know Ghostface Killer, who was like the benefactor of this entire project, was like, oh yeah, with the big ass fucking eagle. I wish I had a big ass eagle on my fucking finger. Yeah, you know what I'm saying, man? So that Spider-Man shit, make the fucking game look like that. What else? What else we got? Felt that boxing. This boxing game that looks like Crank Yankers. meets Punch Out, Mike Tyson's Punch Out. The trailer was hilarious. Music by Flying fucking Lotus. So, like, I hope it's a good game because I'm definitely gonna play it and buy it just to support Flying Lotus. That's my fucking guy. Oh man, the Casino Royale stuff with Mads Mikkelsen, the James Bond villain. I'm not a James Bond guy like that, but I think this is an awesome collaboration. I know the developers who do Hitman have their hands on the IP now, so that's like a nice little cool favor that Amazon. I can't believe Amazon owns a legacy franchise like 007 right now. Gave them the opportunity to do that as a thank you for developing their game. Pretty cool stuff. Also, that 007 game, is it me or does 007 look like motherfucking Tom Cruise, right? The Deadpool VR shit, it looked cool for a second, and then I realized it was VR. I realized Neil Patrick Harris is doing the voice. What I did love was seeing Ryan Reynolds do that little promotion video for it. He's talking about like gracefully walking away from the character, and sooner or later it is going to have to happen. I think Ryan Reynolds is hitting like 50 soon. So, unfortunate, but it will happen one day. Oh yeah, Persona 4 remake got announced. Michelangelo from Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles will be a playable character in Tony Hawk Pro Skater 3 or 4. That's pretty cool. I'm getting all of this news, by the way, from Polygon. Check out that P4 real quick. Yeah, this P4 thing is pretty wild, just given the fact that it's like the worst kept secret because the voice actors have expressed their complaints by not being recast for the remake, which is sucky. It's kind of like Elder Scrolls Oblivion, the remaster kind of being like the worst kept secret in gaming, and it was like closely followed by this Persona 4 remake, but for completely different reasons. One was just hype, the other one was like disappointment from the VAs. But I am interested to see what people are saying in comments about it. But why? Just why I understand Persona 3 getting remake, that was warranted, but Persona 4 Gold already is the remake and one that has damn well held up for a long time. I struggle to think of a single aspect gameplay wise that needs to be modernized or remade, especially since it already built even further upon the found that Persona 3 laid, the foundation, I suppose they're trying to say. I'm not trying to be a contrarian here, but I can't possibly see any reason to do this other than quarterly investor calls. Like, it's easy to be cynical about remakes, and like I understand, like he said, or they said, Persona 3 getting remade makes sense. It was kind of locked out system wise, and Persona 4 is pretty available on PC and you can play it on a potato. Yeah, I don't see why. It should have been a port, but we'll see what they're cooking. I haven't played Persona 3 Reloaded. I don't want to be super cynical, but it does suck. And it does feel like they're kind of like leaving the voice actors who are a big part of the fandom out of this. And so it feels like they're like not thinking about the fandom first, I should say. I don't know. This is all just speculation. But I think that's about it as far as I go on Summer Games Fest. Oh yeah, the Xbox handheld is actually just a reskin Asus Rogue Ally. I mean, we'll see. I think it's too little, too late to for Xbox to be coming into another console game. You know, they can barely handle the two they got. They're actually looking to be out of the console game. What they're really trying to do is have their games playable on all kind of platforms possible, whether that's a PlayStation, Nintendo, this Rogue Ally thing, on your LG TV, using the cloud-based system, whatever way they can. And, you know, I guess that's why it's not their own hardware. It's just a reskin Rogue Ally. But it just some people may be excited. To me, this just seems like a fucking another nail in the coffin for Xbox. Also, the Switch 2 came out this month. I mean, the Switch 2 came out this week alongside Summer Games Fest. There was no Nintendo Direct. Nintendo said, we will direct you to our $500 handheld hardware, and you will buy it and you will like it. You will play Mario Kart World on it and old titles that you've already played and or beat to see how they run. And listen, that's all I expected Nintendo Switch 2 to be. Maybe I was hoping for a more robust lineup. I was going to be a day one purchaser. I think I spoke about that ad nauseum in one of these videos here that I've linked here. And now it's just, I feel like Nintendo with all the EULA stuff that they updated to where they can just brick your shit if they find it, if they so deem it to be under violation of their contract. They spy in your chats. You need that day one update to even have it functioning. The lineup just wasn't there. And so it wasn't day one for me. I actually got my invite to buy the system Thursday, and I have until Monday to do it. I'm not going to do it. I have a budget, first of all. although I could buy it and go out of my budget and probably use it for some content, I just like as a product, as a person who buys stuff, as a consumer, I just don't see the need until the appropriate game comes out that sells me on it. I already have a ton of games that I want to play on it. That are original Nintendo Switch games. I heard the Witcher 3 runs superbly better on that system than it does on the Nintendo Switch, which obviously it should, but I'm saying the game didn't push out a new patch in order for it to do that. It just seems like the Switch is auto making games run better natively, which is awesome. But I do hope CD Projekt Red pushes out an update, an official Switch 2 update. Same as said for a few games. I'm not quite sure. I know the Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom were optimized. That's two games I definitely want to give a try again because I just cannot get into Zelda Breath of the Wild. It's weird. I've spoken about it already. I just can't get into it for whatever reason. I love Zelda games. I love open world games. So maybe this new update with the enhanced graphics, the fidelity, the Zelda notes will draw me into it. But it's not a system seller for me, you know? Pokemon Legends ZA would be the system seller for me, but I would like to have a Switch 2 sooner than that. It was a successful launch, successful launch. I think Switch 2 reportedly sold 3 million in 24 hours, beating PS4's launch record of 1 million. It was always going to do well no matter what, but I don't think I don't think that equates to a very good launch. Beating global records, that's tight, but I don't think I think Nintendo shot itself in the foot hype wise. And I think some people with lingering hype still bought it. I think people who already had pre-orders baked in. That's before I even talk about, like the staples in the screen stuff and the excessive lines and possible stock shortages. I haven't heard of any. But until I can walk into a store on a random day, not wait on an aggressive line, and give a clerk my money and purchase my item and bring it home, I'm probably not going to get a Switch until then. And that's going to be when there's a game that justifies the purchase. I saw something else about the Switch. The Switch, is it me or is the Switch 2 incredibly buggy? I bought my 7th hard crash / system freeze in 10 hours. I just had the entire system stall out while idling in Super Mario RPG. I started recording as the audio cut out. I'm used to jank on a product launch, but this is getting annoying. And that's the other thing. I'm not a day one buyer usually of tech or gaming tech or gaming software. Just day one is just never a good time. Launch day is just never without any hiccups, and I would like to enjoy the Switch without any hiccups. And if they need to send out new models to combat whatever this shit is, even though this is a very, very isolated incident, this is a thread I'm reading on Twitter. I'll link it below. And you see some people saying that this is happening to them, and you see other people saying this is absolutely not happening to me. I just don't want to be one of those people. But yeah, those are my feelings on the Switch. How are you enjoying your Switch? Tell me your stories about your Switch. Do you regret buying it? Are you having fun with it? Do you think that you'll run out of fun with Mario Kart World soon? Are you gonna rely on your back catalog to compensate for that? What's the actual game for the Switch you're excited to play that is like the reason you bought it? Let me know. Let me know, Switch owners, how you're feeling out there. Because I don't think I'm being sour grapes about it. I really don't. Like, I'm gonna get one, but it just, for some reason, Nintendo just took all the hype away from me. And there's still Joy-Con drift. Nintendo still expects Joy-Con drift issues. They'll allow you to fix your Joy-Cons like for free. They're offering that as a service, which to me says that they know that there's going to be drift. I know the ergonomics of controllers, analog sticks are always going to be drift issues, and with the Switch 2 being half the size of usual controller joysticks, more likely, but you really don't want to hear that. Especially me. I'm already facing Joy-Con issues on my original Switch. But yeah, enough about the Switch. Alright, so before we get out of here, we got this piece by Variety. This is on Variety by Elise Schafer, talking about Hunter Schafer. Says playing Zelda in Nintendo's live-action movie would be so cool amid fan-casting buzz. As soon as it was announced on Tuesday that a live-action Legend of Zelda movie is in the works, fans started dreamcasting the title role. At the top of many a list, Euphoria star Hunter Schafer at the London premiere of The Hunger Games: Battle of Songbirds and Snakes on Thursday night. Schafer confirmed she's seen fan-cast circulating on social media. That would be so cool, Schafer said about playing Zelda in the live-action film. I love the game personally. I played it as a kid and I still play it now. Who knows? That would be so That would be pretty cool. She previously expressed this talking to ET. I mean, yeah, that would be cool. I played that game a bunch when I was a kid. Such a good game. But there's no telling when this actual is gonna come out. Unfortunately, I remember when Netflix had a hand in a live action series, and now they're talking about an official movie that I think is gonna be in the same universe as the Super Mario movie. And I hope that this all culminates to a Smash Brothers crossover film. That's what it should all be leading to. But you know, the sexist of X, predominant fan base of X, got a hold of this and started being very, go woke, go broke about the fan casting. You hate to see it. You expect to see it though. When I originally saw the joke, I didn't know it was a joke. Of course, a check mark. Yorch Torch Games about casting Princess Zelda. Would this be better? And they have Hunter Schafer actually as Link instead of Zelda, and who they have as Princess Zelda is Anya Taylor-Joy. Now, you can obviously see what they're saying. They'll have two women playing in the role. It's a lesbianist relationship. Why are they pushing this on our children? Right? But I saw this tweet, and I felt the same. They're trying to be transphobic, but cooking like fucking crazy instead, because Hunter Schafer looks like fucking Link in this photo more than she looks like Zelda. Like, it's not even funny how much she looks like Zelda in that particular photo. And Anya Taylor-Joy, she can play anything under this god green earth. Let her be Zelda. Just for having blonde hair, let her be Zelda. There's no real acting chops you need to be Zelda, unless you're going the Sheik route and you have this girl dressed up as Sheik doing some badass moves. That would be fucking fire. Sheik is my favorite Zelda character, and it's a shame that she's only been in one game, because Sheik is such a cool alter ego. Sheik is such a great fucking design. It's my number one main in Smash Brothers. I would love this shit. These niggas was cooking low-key. But it's a damn shame that, people gotta be so fucking weird about every fucking thing. Read the comments real quick. Trans being Link. And you got fucking Gunna with his gloves writing on the parchment and it's on fire. Grunge should have been cast as Zelda. Or she can just do a dual role of Link and Princess Zelda, just Hunter playing both characters. Listen, bro. Listen. Casting a woman for a male part would trigger them even harder than the Little Mermaid. Do it. And, harassing celebrities aside, I would love to see it. That's Ike's Boom Boom Room. This episode, a little weird. Kind of like a nonsense sandwich where it's like nonsense on top, recap general gaming information in the middle, the meat of the podcast, and then you cap it off with some more goofiness. Make a goofy sandwich for us to chew on and for you to consume. Tell me what you thought about this episode. Tell me how you like Ike's Boom Boom Room, which direction you like it going in, if you like the guests, if you like the political as it relates to gaming stuff, if you like the outlying gaming topics sandwiched in with some news and bringing it back home with some more of that outlier gaming news, or a combo of all three. Let me know. Tell me if you enjoy what's going on here. Peace out. Much love. Catch you later.